Your phone has maps to every city on Earth, but you cannot find your way out of yours without a signal. You have a camera that shoots 4K video, but you have never taken a photo of your important documents. You have a calculator, a flashlight, a weather app, a news feed updating every 30 seconds, and zero plan for what happens when none of it works. That is not a technology problem, that is a preparation problem. And it is the most common one I see. People mistake information access for actual readiness. They are not the same thing. A phone tells you what is happening. A plan tells you what to do. Tonight we are building the plan. Subscribe right now so you never miss this. Stay for number 7. It is the one gap that most people with otherwise solid preps completely overlook. 1. Write down your emergency contacts on paper. Pull out your phone right now and ask yourself this. How many of your most important contacts can you dial from memory? Your spouse, your parents, your best friend who lives 20 minutes away? Most people know 0, maybe 1. Because we stopped memorizing numbers the moment smartphones did it for us. In a real emergency, your phone dies, or the network is overloaded and calls will not go through, or you are injured and someone else needs to make calls for you. None of those scenarios care that your contacts are saved in the cloud. The fix takes 10 minutes. Write your 10 most critical contacts on a small card. Put 1 copy in your wallet, 1 in your go bag, 1 taped inside a cabinet at home, not a notes app, not a screenshot. Paper, a pen, done. When every digital system around you fails, that card still works. 2. Establish a physical family meeting point. When disaster hits, the instinct is to call, but the call does not go through. Towers go down. Networks collapse under volume. Text messages queue for hours. So you drive toward your kid's school and your partner drives toward your house and nobody is where anyone expects and the chaos doubles. The fix is a pre-agreed physical location. Not vague, specific. This corner, this parking lot, this neighbor's house. You need 2. 1 close to home for local emergencies like a fire or a blackout. 1 farther away, outside your immediate neighborhood, for larger events that force evacuation. Every member of your household needs to know both locations without being told. Not from a text, not from a voicemail, from memory. Drill it once, say it out loud at the dinner table 1 time. That is all it takes to go from scattered to coordinated when everything else falls apart. 3. Keep 72 hours of cash in small bills. Banks go offline, ATMs run out, card readers stop working. This is not a conspiracy. This happens in every major disaster on record. After Hurricane Katrina, after the Northeast blackout of 2003, after every significant grid disruption, electronic payment infrastructure is fragile. It depends on power and connectivity. You depend on it for everything. 72 hours of cash does not mean thousands of dollars. It means enough to buy gas, food, and a motel room for 3 days. For most people, that is somewhere between $150 and $300. Keep it in small bills. A 20 and a 50 are useless if the person selling you fuel cannot make change. 5s and 10s and 20s. Keep it somewhere accessible at home. Not in a safe that takes 4 minutes to open. Somewhere you can grab it in 30 seconds on your way out the door. 4. Know your evacuation route before you need it. When the alert goes out, every single person in your city is going to take the same road. The highway, the main artery, the obvious exit, and it is going to become a parking lot within the first hour. There are documented accounts from wildfire evacuations where people ran out of gas sitting in gridlock and never made it out at all. You need a secondary route, one that uses surface streets, back roads, or less obvious exits from your area. You need to have driven it at least once, not theorized about it, actually driven it. Know where it gets narrow. Know which bridges it crosses. Know roughly how long it takes. Pull up your maps right now and trace a second route out of your city. Screenshot it, then drive it on a weekend. That 1 hour of your time is the difference between escaping early and sitting in a disaster zone wondering why you did not do this sooner. 5. Store 3 days of water that requires no filter and no power. People know they need water, nobody actually stores it, or they own a filtration device that requires a battery pack and 45 minutes per liter. That is not a solution for a fast-moving crisis. That is a hobby. 3 days for 1 person is roughly 6 liters. For a family of 4, 24 liters. Regular commercial water bottles work. So do food-grade storage containers. Keep them somewhere cool and out of direct sunlight. Rotate them every 6 to 12 months. That is the entire strategy. No pumps, no iodine tablets, no ultraviolet purifiers, just water you can open and drink immediately with zero infrastructure. In the first 72 hours of any serious emergency, that simplicity is worth more than any sophisticated system that depends on conditions being ideal. 6. Build a go bag you can actually carry. Most people who own a go bag cannot lift it. They pack it once, throw in everything they can think of, and store it in a closet. Then the moment they need to move fast, it weighs 40 pounds, and they leave half of it behind anyway. A real go bag is light enough to carry for 2 miles on foot without stopping. That means ruthless editing. Documents, cash, water for 24 hours, high-calorie food that requires no cooking, a basic first aid kit, a phone charger and a portable battery, a flashlight with extra batteries. a change of clothes, copies of your medications. That is it. Every item in that bag should have one job. If it does not serve the first 72 hours, it does not earn a spot. Weight is the enemy of mobility. And in an evacuation, mobility is survival. 7. Have a designated out-of-area contact. This is the one. Local phone lines overload in a crisis because everyone is trying to call locally. But calls to numbers outside your region often go through when local calls cannot. This is documented behavior from September 11th from major hurricanes from grid failures across multiple countries. The system is simple. You designate one person who lives far away. A family member in another city, a friend in a different country. Everyone in your household knows their number by memory. When something happens, you each call that one person. They become the hub. They relay information between you when direct contact is impossible. It costs nothing. It requires one conversation to set up. And it has gotten separated families back in contact in real disasters when every other channel was down. A phone gives you information, a plan gives you options. And options are the only thing standing between you and the decisions you have to make in real time when everything is moving fast and nothing is working. You do not need gear, you do not need a bunker, you need these 7 things written down, practiced once and ready before the alert goes out. Drop a comment below. Which one of these did you not have before tonight? I want to know where the gaps actually are. Subscribe if this channel belongs in your feed, and the next video is going to cover something most people never think about until it is too late. Communications blackouts. What actually works when the grid goes down and your phone is a brick? That one goes up soon. Do not miss it.